Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Monday, the 12th of February, 2024. A good variety streaming day, and back to a full day of gameplay after the React show yesterday. So let's talk all about it. First of all, on today's podcast, did not have too much particularly important stuff to talk about besides the fact that now the schedule is kind of set in stone. We know that I've unlocked Dondoko Island in Like a Dragon, and it looks like I could do my first ever co-op stream with my wife on Wednesday night, which is very exciting, and I hope you'll all be there for that. But outside of that, just talked about the schedule update and my thoughts on Yoshimitsu, who I was going to try out today in Tekken because I actually researched Yoshimitsu for about an hour and a half to 2 hours last night on YouTube before I played him for the first time today. And just did a lot of Q&A and a chill stuff. Not a too particularly demanding podcast today. Then we went to Tekken 8. And for the first 20-25 minutes, I took Yoshimitsu into training mode. Tried him out. Saw his abilities and things. And did a little bit of practice with the combos. Because I literally never touched Yoshimitsu before today. It was the first time I played with the character. So I know how to use him or anything. But watching videos, I learned basics. I said, okay, I got to apply that tomorrow. So I just jumped right into training mode and tried to emulate what I had seen in the videos. And surprisingly enough, I'm doing really good at picking stuff up in this game fast because I was getting combos down and strategies and everything. I'm like, cool, stance changes I didn't even know existed. It was pretty neat. So then I jumped into online play, which of course at first was rough because I had never really done any execution with this character before. I would say the first hour of online play was pretty rough, where I was losing a lot of matches and trying to get down what are his fastest moves, what's the quickest move, what's the best move in this situation, that situation, etc. The one problem I was having, I couldn't consistently get his combo. His combo is a really good juggle. He's got a few combos in the game that are good, but the one basic combo that everyone uses is a really good juggle, and I kept whiffing in the middle of it. And come to find out, it's because it's a very strict timing with the way you do it. The way it works with Yoshimitsu is he has a sword that he can put away and take out. And if he has it away or take it out, his hits have different properties. So in the middle of the combo, you have to tap back, which puts his sword away, and then you have to continue the combo while they're still being juggled in the air. And I was holding back instead of tapping back. And when I held back, it basically made it so his move didn't have as much range. And if you just tap back and then you keep doing it, you can hit him. And I was like, oh, okay, so I got it. After like about an hour of frustration of not being able to land the combo, I figured it out. And I will say at first, again, I was getting, basically bodied. Then all of a sudden, I started playing people and getting it and bodying them. And then I'd say probably hour 3 was the best hour, where I was playing much higher ranked players who knew a lot of their characters and how to play with them. And I was trying to learn strategies against them. Like, for example, Reina, damn, she has one of the fast jabs in the game. And she was like, jab, jab, jab. So what do I do? How do I interrupt this? And I'm like, okay, so here's my options. The super armor move, or if I duck it, is there a move I have fast enough that can counter hit it, punish it? And that's what I'm trying to figure out, right? So there's some matches where people outright body me, but then I kind of like adjust on the fly and I try to do better and win, which I did in some cases. And in some cases they were close, or some cases I just got destroyed. Overall, by the end of today's session, it was 28 wins and 20 losses, not ranked, because I wasn't ready for ranked yet. I was just learning basics with this character. But I'll say this, man, I learned a lot, and I did pretty good, I think, for my first session ever with this character, and he's an oddball character that plays, really uniquely. I had a good time. I think the viewers in general also enjoyed the time, and I'm looking forward to playing more with him later in the week. So, good stuff for a solid first stream for Yoshimitsu. I feel like, I was dead on with how I would want it to perform for my first stream, if not exceeding the expectations I'd set for myself. So that was pretty good. Tonight's night stream was PalWorld, okay? And we were 9 hours in. Now I believe we're 11 hours in. And I'm going to give you guys my honest, transparent thoughts on this, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it in depth on the podcast tomorrow. Tonight was the first night I kind of got bored with the game, all right? The first few streams, you're so immersed in this new world, like, oh my god, it's survival, but it's crafting and mining and resource gathering, but it's also, controlling and catching Pokemon, so it feels like 3-4 universes slapped together. And then, I'd probably say around the middle of the time I played it, like hour 5 and 6, like, oh, okay, now I'm starting to get it. You can make a mount, and you can ride the pals around, and this makes it better. You can go through dungeons, you can fight bosses, right? You go to the first major boss in the tower, and the game kind of opens up even further. But today, I want to say I leveled like 5 levels. So I went from like level 19 to 24 tonight. Caught a ton of new pals. Crafted a bunch of new stuff in camp. And I was bored, and so was the audience. Like, the audience at first was kind of having fun, and within like a half an hour, you can tell when people get disengaged, and they're kind of like, meh, there's nothing really happening here. They have too much interest, and that's what happened. Like, everyone just kind of got disengaged and bored with it, including me, and people stopped talking. People stopped engaging. People literally just stopped supporting at one point. I think it was like maybe 45 minutes in, and that was it. It was dead. And I'm like, well, what do you think? And basically the feedback I got was, well, there's a couple problems with the game. Problem number one is that the game is good to play solo at first, but really it's better if you're playing it co-op with like a friend or something, because then one person can resource gather while one person can work on PAL, herding and stuff. When you're doing it by yourself, it's a lot of tedium, right? That's number one. Number two, the game on Xbox is just far inferior to the PC version. People are telling me now that the PC version is light years ahead of the Xbox version. I mean, I can't even name a PAL yet. I've been playing this game for almost a solid month, and I can't even name a PAL yet. They didn't even add that to the console version yet. And they're blaming it on Microsoft, saying, hey, we have all these updates ready. They're in the pipeline. We want them to apply. And Microsoft keeps holding them up for their certification process, to which I'm like, well, I can understand that, but seriously, in a month, you couldn't have an ability to name a Pokemon yet, or excuse me, a PAL yet? Like, that's one of the key things you probably want to do. Have a PAL with a name. It's your favorite PAL. You bring it with you. You know, it's like a comrade, or like my Malpaca, which is supposed to be like an alpaca. I totally would have given it a name because I've been riding it around for 3 straight streams, you know. So anyway, yeah, I feel like we finally tonight kind of hit the wall of what we were going to be able to see with me playing it solo. And that's sad because, you know, when I started playing it, I told you, I had big reminiscing feelings of years ago when I used to play Minecraft. And we would do it every week. It would be the chill late night stream of Minecraft. And it was an event to look forward to. And we would craft and we would survive. And we would visit, you know, settlements. And we would spread out over the course of the map and teleport around and do fun stuff. And I was getting those vibes early on. Like the first few streams we did of the game, I was totally getting those vibes. But now, I feel like everyone got bored with it, including me. Like, I think the gimmick wore out. It was a fun gimmick, the Pokemon knockoff game for a couple of sessions. But now it's kind of like, eh. And the truth be told, all right, I don't feel like I'm playing Tekken enough. Twice a week is just not enough for a new fighting game. So I'm not getting much better at the game, or at least at the pace that I think would be more entertaining. And the fact that I'm about to start doing co-op streams with my wife means that we already are going to kind of have less time. So I'm thinking, if we're going to retire PalWorld, now will be the time. Now, obviously, I want your thoughts. You can leave a comment on this video. You can leave a comment on the videos of PalWorld from tonight. Let me know, do you think this is the logical place to stop? Unless there's a lot more I'm missing, I just don't feel that way. Like, people were even on the stream, were like, yeah, just so you know, you've now seen the entire loop of the game. The only thing that's different, you're going to see bigger PALs moving forward. You're going to craft guns, and the guns will make fighting the PALs easier, so that way it's not as hard as it is right now trying to shoot that slow crossbow. Instead, you're running around with guns, shooting them as you're on a mount or whatever. And that's really it. Like, that's it. There's not much else to the game. That's the whole game. And then people hit, like, level 50. Like, I'm level 24 right now. You can only hit level 50. That's it. That's the maximum of the game. And then after that, people are like, yeah, there's really nothing to do. There's no endgame content or anything yet. Everyone hit a wall, and they're waiting for them to update the game and add, you know, raids and more instances and things like that. So, yeah, I think we've done it. I think it was around 11 hours total of gameplay, and I think we pretty much saw everything that we wanted to see in PalWorld. And I enjoyed my stay. I did. I actually enjoyed my stay in the game. I thought that it was a solid and fun experience. I'm glad that we played it. I'm just confirming. Yeah, it was 9 hours, and then tonight was 2 more, so we're at 11 hours. I had a good time. I'm glad you guys suggested it when it was viral, you know, last month, and I'm glad that it was on Xbox Game Pass, because a lot of the times these games that go viral, they're not on anything I can play. They're like on PC high-end requirements. Like, well, I can't play that, right? So I'm happy that it was on a console. It was on Game Pass, so there wasn't no real investment in it, and I had a fun that time we played it, but I think it's time to retire it, all right? So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts on that. All right, so tomorrow, we have 2 more streaming days left this week before my break. Tomorrow, Tuesday the 13th, will be Baldur's Gate 3 returning. On the podcast, we'll talk about Yoshimitsu and PalWorld so we can make decisions on stuff like that. And then Baldur's Gate 3 continues. We're actually currently in Shar's Gauntlet, which is inside the mausoleum of Act 2, which I didn't know. And people are saying Shar's Gauntlet is essentially like no exaggeration, 5+ hours of puzzles and really annoying things in the game that are very different from the rest of the game. And I'm like, oh no. So I hope people are going to help me with it, because I'll be honest with you. No, I really, at this point, when I just told you guys the last couple of streams, I'm feeling comfortable and enjoying the game because I kind of know what I'm doing. I really don't want to have 2 streams where I have to fuck with the game to try to figure out how to play it like it's a new game again. Like, I don't want it to be a puzzle game. It's not a puzzle game. It's an RPG. It's not a puzzle game. Let's say that again. It's not a puzzle game. It's an RPG. If they make you do insane amounts of annoying puzzles, that's fucked up and stupid, and it derails you from what you want to do playing the game. If I wanted to play a puzzle game, I would fucking buy a puzzle game and play it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess we'll see what happens. But I hope that we'll get through this and make good progress. My goal is to get into Act 3 and start Act 3 before Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out the end of this month in about 2 weeks. So hopefully, within what we do this week, next week, and a little bit more, we'll actually get a good chunk further into the game, into Act 3, and hopefully this Char's Temple thing will not hold us back and take forever. I hope, okay? So that's tomorrow's daytime stream. Night stream tomorrow night will be Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, where we are going to finish the Dondoko Island tutorial, which we're currently in right now. And then we're going to head back and play a little bit more, hopefully unlock the final jobs that I was looking to unlock. Maybe we'll have enough money to do so. And then, Wednesday, more Baldur's Gate 3, hopefully the conclusion of this Char's Gauntlet. And then, Wednesday night, the big night stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday. Yes, Valentine's Day, February 14th. Kat and I will be doing our first ever cooperative gameplay stream here on DSP Gaming. Dondoko Island, setting it up, designing it how we want. I don't know if she'll play with the controller or me. It doesn't really matter because the gameplay is so simplified in that. It's running around gathering resources, beating up pirates with a baseball bat, and then basically building. And she's already built and done the whole Dondoko Island in her playthrough. So maybe it makes sense to maybe let her take the reins and design the roads and design how the layout of the buildings. And we just pick them together and stuff like that while we're interacting with you guys. I think that would be a good thing. So that's what I'm thinking. And hopefully you guys will come for that because you guys really like the Q&A sessions we did last month. It's going to be really special to have my wife on stream and finally doing gameplay with me for the first time in 100 years. You know, it'll be awesome. I hope you'll join us for that, okay? And, of course, the next week, what this means is we're going to focus more on Baldur's Gate 3, maybe more Tekken, and since Dondoko Island, we're going to see how it goes on Wednesday night. If you guys like it and it goes well, then likely we'll do it 1 to 2 times a week moving forward. If you don't like it and you think it's boring, then maybe we won't do it as often, maybe once a week, you know. We'll see how it goes. But, you know, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with that. Hopefully it goes well and you guys like it. I think having us both here interacting with you will make it more special, right? It's kind of similar to Animal Crossing streams and stuff that I used to do. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Great streaming day overall. I did have a lot of fun, especially with Yoshimitsu. I really like him in Tekken 8, and I can't wait to play more with him and get better with him. Sad about PalWorld, but at the same time, you know, things don't last forever, and that game definitely, I feel like at this point, is kind of like, you know, it's not that good. So it's good to move on from it before it gets too stale and it's overstaying its welcome. But I had a good day. Hope you all did too. Enjoy the content. And by the way, remember, the poll to vote on the upcoming Retro React stream next weekend on DSP Throwback is live on DSP Throwback. Please vote. And the options are Red Dead 1, Dark Souls 1, Heavy Rain, or Bully. Yes, the original Bully playthrough's on there too from 2013. So please vote. I'm very curious to see your thoughts over the week. And thanks a lot. Everyone have a good night. See you tomorrow for the podcast and for Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon. Peace out.